Hometown ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown fan app today.
And we welcome you into Shuford Gym as these two squads, Lenoir-Rhyne and Limestone, look to continue their win streaks as we play here in early February as the conference tournament looms at the end of the month. Coming up next on the Bear Sports Network. And we welcome you into Shuford Gym as Lenoir-Rhyne and Limestone, a must-win game for both of these two, is about to tip off here inside the shoe. Limestone currently in 8th in the SAC and Lenoir-Rhyne in 10th. And the top 8 make the conference tournament as we wind down this 2021-22 regular season as we welcome you courtside here inside the shoe. Eric Bach and Blake Simmons are so glad you are along with us today. But the Bears bring a 2-game win streak into this one, including an upset win a week ago over Tusculum. We'll show you a clip that won the game later in this open. But as I mentioned, LR 10th in the league standings. The top 8 make the SAC tournament. Hey, Eric, Blake. Limestone is 8th, so a win today for the Bears would really help them move up into that conversation. They're playing well enough to be there right now at the end of the season. We'll see if they can keep on executing down the stretch. But it's a team no one wants to see right now. They're figuring it out at the end of games. You know, they had that big lead a week ago against Mars Hill. Mars Hill came back, but the Bears were able to hold them off and win that game on the road. And Tusculum, that's a huge upset for the Bears over a top 3 team in the league that came here in December and kind of beat the brakes off them in the second half. To be able to go up there and beat them is a big deal. And for Limestone, the 3-game win streak coming into this one against the bottom feeders of the league, UVA Wise, Mars Hill, and Coker, but they're playing better. And they had lost 5 games in a row before that, but the schedule really toughens up for the Saints coming up. All 3 wins in a row, though, have been by 15-plus points, and they have one of the best guards in the league in Iodata and one of the best big men in the league in Richard Nunez, who we will talk about. But as I mentioned, a tough stretch coming up after this one. Now as we take a look at our keys to the game, presented by Fry Regional Medical Center. For the Bears, it's pretty simple. There's a lot of switching that happens in the Limestone defense, and Blake, the Bears, after struggling for so much of the season on the boards, have really picked it up over the past few games.
Yeah, absolutely. Switching, Limestone literally switches everything, so off-ball screens, on-ball screens is pretty rare, especially in this league. You don't see it a lot, so it's just something the Bears are going to have to get used to. So that number 1 thing is probably the top one as it's listed right there, just because it's so different. But the Bears have had a week to prepare for it, so I think they'll have a good game plan. And then, like you said, interior defense is always a key. And like you said, rebounding, they've done a better job recently of rebounding the ball. So, and that's been a focus for them throughout the last month at least. So it's good to see them improving on the stuff they've been working on. That always feels good.
Those are your keys to the game, presented by Fry Regional Medical Center. We'll take a break, come back with starting lineups next on the Bear Sports Network.
If you play hard, If you use your feet to chase fitness goals. If you stand all day at work. Introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR Athletics, hosting games, tailgating, more
everything.
Welcome back inside the shoe. About 90 seconds away from tip between Lenoir-Rhyne and Limestone as we take a look at the starting lineups for the Saints, presented by Everett Chevrolet. Isaiah Owens, Richard Nunez, who leads the sack in field goal percentage at over 68%. Stephen Udoka, Chase Freeman, and Ben Gowert get the start for the Saints. Now we take a look at the LR lineup. Sal Wilson, who actually led the Bears in scoring the first time these two met back in late November. Tyson McLean gets the start. Instead of Jalen Johnson, Kevin Kangu starts. Naz Tyson, who hit the game winner against Tusculum on Saturday. And Cooper Fowler gets the start for the Bears. A little bit of a change in the lineup here now as we take a look at Naz's game winner last Saturday against Tusculum up in Greenville. Uh-oh.
Turn your head to the side.
If you can turn your head and look. There it is. Naz only had 9 points in the game, but the last three were as big as they come this season. So Naz with the game winner a week ago. Now as we take a look at our head-to-head. But Naz is featured in that head-to-head. And the numbers, don't pop for for Naz Tyson. Less than 10 points a game, 9.5 points per game. But I guess we don't have the head-to-head graphic. But it's Iodata and Naz Tyson. And Iodata not in the starting lineup today for Limestone. So we'll see if he is going today for the Saints. That would certainly be a big loss for them if he could not go. Over 16 points per game. And is fourth in the sack in three-point shooting at 39%. So that is a big deal for Limestone if he's not able to play.
I'm trying to check the bench. I don't think I see him, so that'd be like you said, a big loss for Limestone here against the Bears today.
And he's missed the last couple of games. So yeah, that is a big boost for LR, who has, as I mentioned, won 2 games in a row, scored 96 points last Wednesday night at Mars Hill. A lot of guys playing better offensively. Kevin Kangu's shooting it at 40% from 3. TJ Naismith, 20 points in 23 minutes at Mars Hill, 17 points in 21 minutes at Tusculum. So while his minutes are staying, pretty flat around 20 to 25 per game, TJ's production in the front court has been a welcome sight for the Bears. Sal Wilson gets announced. He's been up and down on offense, but his highest scoring game of the year came against Limestone back on November 27th. So Cooper Fowler gets the start.
Yeah. Like you just mentioned, November 27th. It's hard to really get a read on.
Basically a different season.
Yeah, 2 months into the season, it's a different. Both teams are different. So many games, practices since then. It's just a different look. Like you said, both teams are on winning streaks right now. Big game in terms of getting into the conference tournament, getting to that 8th spot in the standings. So should be in for a good one here in the shoe today.
3-game winning streak for the Saints, 2-game winning streak for the Bears. But Bears have only won 2 games the whole season in this building against Wingate and UVA Wise. No better time than the present for number 3. Jalen Johnson does get the start. It was a bit of a mix-up with the live stats in our software. So Johnson does start. The ball is up, and off we go. 2 teams fighting for their postseason lives today inside the shoe. Should be a good one. This is Nunez, the leading percentage shooter in the SAC, almost 69%. Junior from North Miami Beach, Florida, actually transferred in from Northwood University in the GLIAC up in Michigan. Fowler, some good defense there as he clears the rebound.
Yeah, good job by Coop there, using his size. Just making Nunez finish over him as opposed to giving him an angle to finish down low.
Wilson cut off by Ben Gallert, who is the second leading scorer on this team, 24 in blue. Fowler doubled to his strong hand and drops in the first 2 of the game.
Good patience by Cooper there. Limestone was coming with a double, it was just a little late, and Cooper went middle away from it.
The last 2 wins for the Bears have been very different games. You saw Naz Tyson's winner. Gave him 65 to win that game as Tusculum. I don't know how that one didn't go down for Gallert. But the game before, they scored 96. And the Bears have shown this season that they can play both high-scoring and low-scoring games. Limestone's rolling right now. 3 straight wins of over 15 points each. Screen and roll. Fowler can't finish.
Good idea. The Bears aren't going to set a ton of screens today, I don't think, to try and mess up the switching defense of Limestone. Right there, Cooper slipped out, was able to get a layup at the rim, just wasn't able to knock it down.
Johnson, top of the circle, buries the 3. He can start making those consistently. Probably the most talented pure scorer on this team. First 5 to the Bears. Idoka high off the glass and down. Stephen Idoka, the junior from Nigeria, who transferred to Limestone from UNC Asheville, has the Saints' first 2 of the day. Kangu only had 6 points a week ago, and the Bears were still able to win as Fowler's doubled, finds Johnson, the reverse. 5 straight for Jalen, and a 5-point lead for the Bears.
Bears have been really efficient at getting the shots they want so far the first 2.5 minutes of this game, out to a 7-2 lead.
Limestone has missed a couple bunnies close to the rim. That one by Nunez. Who doesn't miss many of those close ones. Also a good free throw shooter. He does all the things you want your big guy to do. Fowler fades away, and the shot comes up short. Everett Sullivan not happy with that shot selection from Cooper Fowler there.
Yeah, Coop had a size advantage there. I think Coach wanted to take advantage of that, try and maybe get to the front of the rim and score it as opposed to shooting that fadeaway on the baseline.
Here comes TJ Naismith to the bench to presumably replace Fowler. Another touch for Coop in the short corner is double. Kangu on the skip. Fancy dribbling, and he fades away, but he makes it.
Big time move by Kevin there. Pushing the ball through that reach from Limestone and then hitting the fadeaway baseline jumper.
Rise and fire game is good as Fowler hedges the screen and gets called for the foul. First of the game on either side. And TJ Naismith will come in for Fowler. TJ, the junior from Burlington, North Carolina, 6'9", 220 pounds. Transferred in from Cape Fear Community College in Eastern NC. Isaiah Owens, the freshman from Inman, South Carolina, who averages just over 13 a game. Iboka, corner three, too strong. Nunez goes up and gets it as the shot clock resets, but Johnson swipes it. Jalen looking to run the break. Gets cut off. Tyson fades on the lane line and fills it up. Those fadeaways working right now for the Bears. Up to a 9-point lead. Chase Freeman's the point guard for Limestone. Gets bumped by Sal Wilson. Kind of a bailout there for the Saints, but they'll take it, and we will take you to our first media timeout. Great start for the Bears. 5 for 7 from the floor, only giving up one bucket to the Saints through 5.5 minutes on the Bears Sports Network.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Back in the shoe. 11-2 lead for the Bears. 4 different LR players have scored. Limestone's 1 for 6 from the floor, and it's a 9-point LR lead to start. But, Blake, what have you liked defensively for the Bears so far through the first 4.5 of this one?
I mean, they've done a pretty good job. I mean, really, Limestone just missed some bunnies.
They have.
I mean, they've got some pretty good looks. The Bears have done a good job cleaning up those misses, though, but I think they want to tighten up a little bit defensively and keep them from getting some of those layup looks they've been getting.
Here's a good look for Hickman, who misses it off the heel, but a big rebound for Rowley, who lost it loose in front of the bench, and Tyson McLean, who's just in the game, grabs it. McLean and Tim Steele checked in during the media. Tyson from Spartanburg, South Carolina, just down the road from Gaffney. One of the closer trips for these two in the conference. Naismith in the lane. Ball's loose and ripped away there by Gallert.
Looked like Limestone might have got away with a foul there on that post entry to TJ.
Gallert gives it up himself. Dribbled it off his foot as he lost his footing on the drive. And Rowley reaches around and knocks that one out of bounds. Greg McKay will come in for the Saints as Gallert gets a break. Bears, part of their reason why they've won 2 games in a row is because they've continued such a strong performance of protecting the basketball. They're at an even 10 turnovers a game. Drive and kick, open 3 for Tim Steele, who buries it from the corner.
It's got to feel good for everybody in the Bears program. See Tim knock that down. He's been struggling this year, so.
It's the 11th made 3 of the season for Steele. Play was made by Kangu, drawing the defense in. Owens will try to answer, and he missed the rim, barely hit the backboard. Ball's loose again, and we have a held ball, and it will go back to the Bears. But every loose ball right now belonging to LR, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Bears come out with great energy. Obviously, hopping out to a 14-2 lead will help me with that, but from the start, they've had good energy getting to those loose balls.
Limestone 1 for 8 from the field and 0 for 3 from 3. They do have 3 offensive rebounds, to your point about them missing bunnies, but just have not been able to put it together here in the first 6+ minutes. Kangu off the screen. Good defense there by Hinkle. And the Bears will reset with 15. Wilson hounded. Finds the open man. Steele stripped. and it will stay with the Bears with 5 on the shot clock.
Good hands by Hickman there. Tim was trying to get to his pull-up jumper. He was able to strip it away.
Wilson to trigger. They looked for Naismith, couldn't get it to him. McLean will take the 3 and airball it. Good defensive possession there for Limestone. Open look on the wing for Idoka, barely grazes the rim. Limestone can't throw it in the ocean right now. Wilson fouled. It's the first foul of the game on the Saints. It's on Jamal Hinkle. But this is a Limestone team that recently has been shooting the ball really well. They've had 80 points in 5 straight games. Scored 81 in a loss to Catawba. That was their last loss back on January 26th. But in their 3 wins, it's 90, 87, and 83. And here, 7 minutes into this one, they have 2.
Yeah, they kind of found the rhythm, it seems like, the last 3 games. But the Bears have done a good job there, kind of keeping them finding that rhythm right now.
Saints haven't scored in over 5 minutes. Their 1 bucket was by Idoka. About the 17-minute mark. Tyson late, crossover, gives it off. That was the right idea as P.J. Joseph was open, but Owens got his foot on it. The Bears will have 7 to shoot. Steele cutting, got undercut and still got it to go. Athletic play there by Tim Steele to get through that contact. Hinkle. Bears locked in defensively. Layer to 3. All it took was me to say that for Limestone to finally make a shot. And it's a 3 for Zach Laird, the freshman from Greenville. Breaks a nearly 6-minute scoring drought for the Saints. And now they'll put a little bit of full court pressure on.
Big shot by Laird there for the Saints. Hadn't been able to get anything going offensively. See if that shot kind of jump starts the Saints offensively.
P.J. Joseph, who's been back in the lineup more consistently the last few. He was in COVID protocols for a while. There's a hand check foul called there on Hickman. And that will take us to the under 12 timeout. So still a double-digit lead for the Bears, as they've really locked down the Saints here through the first 8 minutes on the Bears Sports Network.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR Athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Bears have 7 made shots in this game and 6 assists. Limestone has 5 turnovers. LR only has 1 turnover, so that kind of tells the story of the first 8 minutes here inside Schufer Gym. Good to have more fans back as some of the restrictions have been rolled back here in February. Had a good atmosphere in here for the women's game. Points here inside the shoe. Then UVA Wise. and Mars Hill again. So the Bears can get themselves right back into this conference tournament race as Johnson steals it, gives it off to Lagana, who gets blocked and stripped, but it'll stay with LR.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the Bears going into a favorable stretch. By no means is, or any of those games, just like 100% wins,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a favorable stretch with Catawba, Anderson, UVA Wise, and Morris Hill over the next 4 after this Limestone game. So a chance for the Bears to pick up a few W's, keep climbing in the standings, and maybe give themselves a little cushion trying to get to that tournament.
Certainly are no guarantees, especially in this league. I think the Tusculum result showed you that. Fowler back in the game. Apparently the plan is to double him, and it worked there. Limestone looking to run the break. What a pass from Freeman as McKay was too strong with the layup. And it'll stay with Limestone as I think Lagana touched it while he was standing out of bounds. Gallert will come back in for the Saints, the second leading scorer, and with Dada out, you'd think that they will lean on him a lot more to bear some of the scoring burden. Fade away in the corner for Laird comes up short, and Fowler Nunez. Probably a few too many blue jerseys in front of him there for Jalen Johnson to attack the rim. Tyson will trigger it. And the pass too wide for Fowler there on the entry. Just the second turnover of the day for LR. You're going to have turnovers.
Yep, right
May as
idea.
well be dead ball turnovers.
Yep, right idea too. Coop had him sealed. Now just wasn't quite able to complete that pass.
And that pass too far for Gallert. He gets on the floor with Johnson. And it's a held ball that will stay with the Saints. But Kyle Perry yells out, if it's not there, don't throw it. That makes sense. Picks up his dribble at the free throw line. Tyson fades away off the left iron, back to the Saints. So Naismith comes back for the Bears. Tyson, Lagana, Kangu, Johnson, and Naismith. Isaiah Owens, who had 15 points in that meeting back in November, but you mentioned it was Thanksgiving weekend that these two met. It was a 16-point Limestone win down in Gaffney, but obviously both teams have won and lost games since then, but the basketball season is so long. These two are very different than they were back in November.
Absolutely. 2 months in the basketball season is like a year in real life, it seems like sometimes. So, like you said, just different teams after 2 months of not seeing each other, and practices and games are just a little different. I feel like rarely does it ever play out the way it does the first game after 2 months off. And we've seen that so far here with the Bears out to the early lead.
LR hasn't scored in 3 minutes as Owens takes the three from the corner and knocks it down. All of a sudden, back to a 6-point game. So the Saints had a 5+ minute scoring drought in the early stage of this half. And as the Bears tend to do, especially on this court, they continue their scoring drought there as Johnson misses. Iboka got trapped. Gallert backs down Lagana. Misses it off the heel. First day or first weekend of spring sports here at LR2. Supposed to have men's lacrosse today against UIndy, which got pushed back to tomorrow because of some travel issues with the Greyhounds.
Should be a good one tomorrow between the Greyhounds and the Bears.
Only top 10 matchup of the weekend, of the opening weekend. Johnson short off the dribble.
LR needs to try and avoid one of those scoring droughts that's plagued them these last couple games.
It's over 4 minutes right now as fouls there on Jalen Johnson as Iboka got bumped. Tell you more about everything else that's happening around LR Athletics after this timeout. A 6-point lead for the Bear men's hoops team on the Bear Sports Network.
Play hard if you use your feet to chase fitness goals. If you stand all day at work. Introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
It's been a half of runs so far. The Bears jumped out to a big lead of 14 points. It was 16-2 at one point. But now, LR hasn't scored in 4 minutes and 16 seconds, and Limestone has slowly chipped away. They certainly haven't shot the ball very well. They're only 5 for 16 from the floor, 2 for 7 from 3, but Bears have cooled off over these last few minutes, and there's a steal for Tim Steele. No pun intended.
Yeah, looking at the stat sheet during the break, I think if you're Limestone, you got to be pretty happy with where you're at. Just if you were just looking at the stat sheet numbers, it'd only be down 6.
I would think that Kyle Perry would be happy with that. Wilson's floater off the glass breaks the drought. Back to an 8-point game.
When Sal's able to get downhill, get around that rim, he's got pretty good touch. As you saw there, he's able to knock down the shot. But that's when Sal's at his best, attacking, getting around that rim, using his big body to finish.
Owens shot fake, one dribble, 18-footer is short, but you mentioned Wilson. That's what he did in the first meeting down in Gaffney, just slashed and slashed, 16 points, and I think 12 out of those 16 were in the paint. So there's Naismith off the catch, athletic, and they say he traveled on before he was able to get that thing up. It's a tough one there. Everett Sullivan certainly disagrees. Those gather plays are so difficult to officiate. Owens pulls one from in front of the bench and buries it. Isaiah, 36% three-point shooter, has his second of this half. And this is the closest Limestone has been since it was 5-0. Almost a steal for Nunez. Kangu between the legs, finds Naismith, puts the shoulder down and gets called for the offensive foul.
Might have been a little bit of action right there from Nadoka.
Yeah. You put your shoulder down, though,
that's true.
You're risking.
That is true.
You're risking the judgment of the official, and in the judgment of that official, it was enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree, there was some acting done there for sure by Nadoka.
But that's okay. That's part of basketball.
Dublin Nunez in the post. Owens has the hot hand. Bit of a heat check there as the ball goes back to the Bears. Only 2 points for LR, that bucket you saw from Wilson about a minute ago in the last 6 minutes. So things have grinded to a halt offensively here the later stages of this first half. McLean shot fake. And Freeman gets called for the foul. Wow, he can't believe it. Neither can Kyle Perry.
I won't say it's a makeup call, but it might have been a favorable whistle after that travel that was in question.
Yeah, it looked pretty clean there from Freeman, but we don't have the back angle there. Steele has a 3 in this game. Naismith spins through the double and gets blocked. Udoka is a really versatile player, 6'5" on the wing, but you can see him handling it there. Finds Owens, that's a good idea. That one just spins out.
I don't know if you want to help off so much from Owens right there. It wasn't a super mismatch with Udoka in the post, so.
McLean with a full head of steam, too strong. I agree with you. Owens has been the only Saint that's put anything in from the outside as Udoka gets called for the offensive foul there. And after you called the one on Naismith, definitely have to call that one on Udoka, and they do. It's the first on Steven and the 5th on Limestone. LR's committed 4 fouls, so not a whole lot of foul trouble either way.
I feel like the last couple games in the show have been that way. Not a ton of fouls. Yeah. Pretty clean game. Just makes for an enjoyable fan experience.
That's right. Sure. Decent flow. And the first 10 minutes of this game, I think, only had 2 combined fouls. Most of them have come in the last 6 minutes. Naismith doing too much there, but there's a blocking foul called on Gallert. TJ's been a little bit erratic offensively here in his time in the first half.
Mm-hmm. There's generally 2 schools of thought when a team's switching up everything like Limestone. It's to continue to run your stuff and not, and then the other one is attack the mismatch. And I think the Bears so far have focused on attacking the mismatch, especially down low with TJ when you get someone small on there. But that sometimes can make your offense a little stagnant.
Wilson, too strong. Big physical rebound there for Udoka. McKay off the bounce, hounded by Johnson. Freeman the other way. His reverse is in. Chase Freeman, a grad student from Wagner College, transferred in there. Let's cut this thing down to 3. Only 2 points for the Bears over the last about 10 minutes. Kangu. Wisely held up. Steele the shot fake. Naismith in the lane, gets fouled. So free throws coming for TJ Naismith to try to stop the bleeding offensively for the Bears here in this first half. Coming up when you come back to the Shoe on the Bears Sports Network. Back here in the Shoe, just a 3-point lead for the Bears over Limestone, 20-17, but LR scored 2 points in the last about 10 minutes of gameplay after they got off to a really hot shooting start, and they haven't really even taken that many shots. Only 9 for 19 from the floor. 47% is going to win you a lot of games, but it's been a combination of problems on offense for the Bears. They've been turning it over, had some shots blocked, a couple offensive fouls in there, so kind of a perfect storm offensively, but a lot of that has to do with the way Limestone is locked in defensively here over these past 8 to 10 minutes of gameplay. TJ Naismith swishes the first free throw. He shoots at 73%. Coming off 17 points a week ago in the upset win in the mountains of Tennessee at Tusculum. Leaves the second short and splits the pair. Isaiah Owens, who leads the Saints with 6 points, turns it over. There's not a whole lot going on that possession offensively for the Saints.
Yeah, I think Isaiah saw Tim steal in front of him and thought he could take him off the dribble, but Tim did a good job moving his feet. And Isaiah went to pass it, but nobody was there.
Bears coming into this one on a 2-game winning streak, their longest of the season, as they turn it over there on a post entry to Joseph. Iboka, full head of steam, turns it over himself. Quick hands from Naz Tyson, who looks to go the other way. Had Kangu in the corner. Johnson thought about the three, decides to drive and give it off. That was a smart decision as P.J. Joseph will head to the free throw line.
Great job by Jalen there, playing under control in the paint. Cut by P.J., was able to get to the rim and draw the foul, get to the free throw line, try and add on to this 4-point lead.
P.J., the transfer from Oakland University in Michigan, played for Greg Campy up there in the Horizon League. Found his way down here to North Carolina to get a fresh start. He and Kevin Kangu came together to play for Coach Everett Sullivan. Missed both free throws. There's only 1 for 6 from the foul line today, including 0 for 4 for P.J. Joseph. Nunez a touch. He's been fairly quiet. Sack's leading percentage shooter kicks it to the corner. Gallard a three. Perfect. It's a 1-point game. Jalen Johnson, who had 5 quick points, but nothing since. Tyson bothered and now backs it out with 10. Crossover down the lane line. Into the chest of Gallert, has to just fade away. Doesn't get the roll as Joseph fouls Gallert on the rebound. Limestone is really locked in defensively here in the second half of this half.
They absolutely have. I feel like the Bears are at 18 points with probably, 12 minutes left, 13 minutes left, and obviously, they only got 21 at this point. So, like you said, Limestone's done a much better job defensively after that poor start.
Only 36% shooting for the Saints. If they made a few of those bunnies that they missed early in the half, they'd definitely be in front in this game. Gallert. Joseph deflects. Run out opportunity for Johnson. Euro step, blocking foul, count it. Jalen Johnson running the break there. That basket went in, didn't it, Blake? Am I seeing things?
Yeah, the basket went in.
And now, Everett Sullivan, after letting the officials know it did go in, the officials have now figured out that the bucket went in, and Jalen Johnson will have 1 free throw. He's 44 for 48 from the foul line this year, over 90%, best in the SAC, top 15 in the nation. Bears as a team are in the top half of the league in free throw shooting, but Only 1 for 6 today, and now 2 for 7 as Johnson completes the three-point play. He leads the Bears with 8 points here in the first half. Hickman on the drive. Now Gallert coming off the three. Tim Steele with another swipe. It's 2 steals in this first half for Tim. Not really known as a super strong defensive player, but has played really well on that end of the floor here in this first half. Here he is on the drive. Gets a step. Gets it back. Tyson, a corner three. Bottoms.
That's what he's doing well right now. He is shooting it really well over the last couple games. Just keeping up.
Had scored in double figures in 5 games in a row before that 9-point outing a week ago at Tusculum, but he hit the game winner in that Tusculum game. So Josh Tyson down the stretch here in mid-February has proven to be a very reliable scoring option for the Bears.
Absolutely. And knowing Nas, I'm sure he would trade that double-digit streak for the game winner and the win at Limestone. So it's a big-time moment for the Bears, especially Nas, being able to knock down that shot there at the end.
Just feels like kind of an inflection point for the Bears as we head down the home stretch here in February. Bunch of winnable games coming up. Already done with the season series with Lincoln Memorial. Split with Tusculum. Have a home game with Queens still on the horizon in late February. Get another crack at Newberry, a team that the Bears definitely should have beaten here. They were up 20 in the second half, and Newberry came back and won that game. Home game against Mars Hill, a team they've already beaten on the road.
Mm-hmm.
This is a must-have today, though, against Limestone. And Saints will hold for the last shot here with 16.5 to go before halftime. Owens, doubled. Gallard bothered, drives, leaves it short, and that takes us to halftime. What a defensive first half for LR. They hold Limestone to 20 points. A team that's been averaging over 80 a game over their last 5. Didn't shoot it terribly well themselves, but a 7-point halftime lead in a must-win game is certainly something that Everett Sullivan will be happy with, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the 1975 conference title team being honored here for the Bears at halftime. We'll be back in 15 with the second half of Limestone and Lenoir-Rhyne here on the Bears Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
everything the light touches will be yours. You must remember who you are. The one true champion. We are LR.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are LR. We are LR.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy infrared technology socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
This once-in-a-generation project will give student athletes an advantage and position Lenoir-Rhyne as a leader in academics and athletics.
Halftime here inside the shoe, 27-20, Lenoir-Rhyne over Limestone. As you take a look at our halftime stats presented by East Coast Wings and Grill. And Blake, I mean, you look on the column on the right, you think the Bears shoot 47% and 60% from three, they'd have a heck of a lot more points than 27.
Absolutely. It's if you didn't see that top line, the score, and you were just looking at the stats, you would think it's probably a 15-point game and a half. But it's just not the way things are shaking out at this point. So 7-point game. Bears finished the half strong after that lull. They are in the middle of it. was able to increase the lead to 7 after being, I think Limestone cut it to 3. So good finish to the half for the Bears. They need a good start here.
Points were off turnovers. So you'd think the way Limestone's given the ball away, the percentage that the Bears are shooting it at, that this lead would be more than 7, but it's just kind of perplexing to see that the Bears are only up by 7 points. Halftime stats presented by our friends at East Coast Wings and Grill. It's rarely a time that East Coast Wings and Grill doesn't sound good, but it sounds especially good right now.
Yes, it does. Never a bad time for wings.
Jalen Johnson led the Bears with 8 points, but after that, Nas Tyson and Tim Steele both had 5, but that's it offensively. And the leading scorer for Limestone, as you take a look at Jalen Johnson right there, the point guard for the Bears, and he didn't score in the first meeting between these two back Thanksgiving weekend. He had a bum ankle, only played 12 minutes in that game. He's battled through some stuff this year. He had that ankle at the beginning of the season, went into COVID protocols in late January, so certainly been a season of perseverance for Jalen Johnson, but still the team's leading scorer at over 13 a game and top 5 in the sack and assist to turnover ratio, over 2 assists per turnover. And Kyle Perry, the head coach for Limestone, came out of the locker room. He went into the locker room chirping at the referees, and he starts the second half chirping at the referees as well.
Yeah, he definitely had something to get off his chest.
Starting 5 on the floor for the Bears. Cooper Fowler fades away and gets the friendly roll. Second bucket for Coop, who averages just around 5 points per game and about 14 minutes per game, but he got the start today as Naismith came off the bench. We've seen that throughout the season as Everett Sullivan messing with the starting lineups, trying to find a combo that works as Nunez barely grazes the rim with that 18-footer and Steele runs down the rebound.
Good job by Coop there, just keeping his distance, keeping it at arm's length and making him shoot over a contest as opposed to getting too close like he did in the first half, letting him go by him for an easy layup.
After Limestone cut the lead to 21-20 with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half as Kangu's corner 3 misses short. Bears are on an 8-0 run over the last 3+ minutes of game time. Gallard a 3. That's his second make from the outside. Sophomore from Germany, from Nuremberg, Germany. Second leading scorer on this team, especially Limestone's missing Iodata as Tyson's 3 gets blocked and Gallert runs it down. 2-on-1. Nunez gives it back. Gallert shot fake, looking for 2 in a row. Fowler corrals the rebound.
Another good look for Gallert there after hitting that first one. Bears a little fortunate there. He wasn't able to knock that down and cut into the lead a little bit more.
Only 6 points today for Ben, who had 16 in the first meeting. Kangu off the bounce. Scoop shot drops in. I don't know if that was his plan when he got there, but it worked.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of got caught in between trying to dump it off the Coop and shooting it. Ended up shooting it and was able to get it go in.
Second bucket for Kevin. Averages just under 12 a game. Nunez a touch. Cross court to Gallert. Swings it for Owens, an open look. Mass of bodies ends up in the Bears' hands. Fowler ahead of the pack. Good find from Nas Tyson.
Yep, great job. Coop leaked out a little bit after contesting that shot. Paid off for the Bears with Nas kicking it ahead, finding Coop for the easy dunk.
6'11", doesn't have to jump too high to get the ball to the rim. Gallard mismatch on Tyson, and he takes advantage. That's 7 inches of height difference right there. Gallard 6'8", and Tyson 6'1", so Kangu traveled, didn't put it on the floor, but that was just a disorganized offensive possession there for LR.
Yeah, Gallert denied the initial dribble handoff and kind of threw off the Bears' rhythm in that play, what they were trying to get with that play.
Limestone has yet to attempt a free throw in this game. Bears have attempted 7 and only made 2 of them. We talked about in the first half, the Bears do well defending without fouling, and especially in this gym, and that has held true today. Iboka off the screen. Feeds Gallard, who got behind his defender and fouled by Johnson. Limestone seems to be making a concerted effort to play through Ben Gallard here in the second half, and it's paid off on a few different occasions so far after halftime.
Yeah, the Bears have been taking a page out of Limestone's book, switching a lot of off-ball action, and they've been able to get Gallard on Nas a couple times, some guards, and like you said, they've really been making a concerted effort to get into him, and it's paid off so far.
So the first free throw attempts of the day for the Saints is a miss. Gallard's just less than 70% from the stripe, but misses both. Naismith hammers it home with one hand. Kind of out of nowhere there. TJ right off the bench provides a boost.
Yeah, kind of snuck up on everybody right there, but TJ able to get the kick-ahead pass and finish with an emphatic dunk.
Udoka, guarded by Johnson, spins and lost it. Kangu looking to run, behind the back, got in the air and turned it over. Now a chance for Limestone, a 2-on-1. Udoka messes it up. This is like the bad news Bears out here right now offensively for both teams in transition.
Yeah, I wonder which coach. Be interesting to see which coach would say they're more frustrated with those last 2 back-to-back possessions, because each team had a good chance to come away with 2 or 3 points, and neither did.
I think the answer to that question is yes. First media time out of the second half. 10-point lead for the Bears on the Bears Sports Network.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR Athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
Today's the pink game inside the shoe. Play for K, raising money and awareness for breast cancer and breast cancer research. Saw a really touching ceremony at halftime of the women's game. A bunch of local breast cancer survivors were here and honored at halftime. Saw the 1971-72 Conference Championship LR men's basketball team honored at halftime of this game, including John Lentz, who was a player on that team, later a coach here. And the court, as you see, John Lentz Court, that they play on today. So one of the LR legends in the house. Tyson McLean in the game for the Bears. Naismith, after the dunk, got held on the entry. Fouls on Owens. That's his first, and the first on Limestone here in the second half. Wilson bounce pass into Lagania, who just checked in. Naismith from the circle left it short. Gallert runs down the rebound. Owens, who made back-to-back threes in the first half, but nothing since then. He's the second leading scorer that's playing today. He and Gallert both in double figures per game, and there's another turnover for Aiden Hickman. 15 for the game for Limestone. There's reset after there was 4 players clumped in the corner. McLean off the screen. Dribbled it off his foot and turned it over and then committed a foul. Both teams on a nearly 2-minute scoring streak. The Bears just under 2 minutes, and Limestone's at 2 minutes and 38 seconds, so we've been stuck on 35-25.
Bears doing a good job, like we mentioned earlier. Limestone scored 80 plus in, what did you say, 4 or 5 straight games?
Averaging over 80 a game in 5 straight.
Clearly they're not on pace right now to get that, so good job by the Bears so far.
Owens had a bad angle for that jumper in the corner and missed it off front iron. Must-win game for these two. Wilson pulls up and knocks it down. He's got a good mid-range game and doesn't use it enough sometimes, I think.
Yeah, good look from Sal there. Messed up the ball swing coverage, Limestone did. Sal was able to just get a practice jumper there.
Nunez. Poked away from behind by Naismith. Wilson looking to run out. Fends off the defender with the left hand. 4 straight for Sal Wilson, and this is the largest lead in a while for the Bears at 14.
Yeah, we talked about the Bears getting off to a hard start, and so far they have, increasing the lead, the halftime lead that they had.
Foul on Tyson McLean there as Owens split the double team, and Jalen Johnson will come back in for him. Udoka back in as well. He's been a spark of energy for the Saints. Hasn't really scored it much, but done a lot on the defensive end and pushed the issue on offense. Hickman will head to the free throw line.
Poor closeout by Sal there, disabled, and Hickman, excuse me.
That's McKay. That's my bad.
McKay able to get the angle and get to the rim and draw the foul.
McKay on 65% from the foul line, rolls in the first as Chase Freeman will come back in. Limestone in 8th place in the SAC. Top 8 make the conference tournament. Lenoir-Rhyne in 10th. So obviously, this is a must-win game today for the Bears to make up some ground on one of their biggest challengers that could potentially leave them out of the conference tournament. Lagania, sidestep. How did that not go down?
That is a great question. Great job by Malik there getting to the paint.
This is Hickman, or that's McKay.
McKay again.
Hickman and McKay. Greg McKay finger rolls that one in. It's back to 10. I don't even know how I'm messing that up because Hickman's 25. It's not like they have similar numbers. Naismith shot fake, got McKay in the air and laid it in. Only one other game has gone final today in the SAC, and it's Queens by 25 over Carson Newman. That's a big statement for the Royals today.
Yeah, Queens have been playing well. They always play well, I mean.
Gallert passed up the 3 and gets the 3 the old-fashioned way, and 1 as the blocking foul's called on Sal Wilson. Game of interest for LR fans is the Coker Lincoln Memorial game. Obviously, the Bears would like Coker to lose that one, and they're losing by 16 to the Rail Splitters.
It's good for the Bears, like you said.
Bears really let one slip away here 2 weeks ago against Coker in this building. They were really short-handed that day. Couldn't find a way. Johnson left it way short. And Freeman to the rim, off the glass and in. Another score in the sack. Tusculum by 20 over Newberry, 57-38. So Pioneers seem to be bouncing back well from that loss to the Bears a week ago. Johnson kicks to the corner. Lagania off the bounce. Pass Freeman. And we'll have free throws coming up after this media timeout. Lead got up to 14. Now it's back to 7 here with 11:19 to go in this one on the Bear Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Seven-point lead for LR over Limestone here inside Schuffer Gym. Eric Bach, Blake Simmons, delighted you're with us on this first Saturday of February. Blake, it just seems like yesterday that we were in here in November talking about the new basketball season on this new court here inside the Shoe. It's just crazy how fast it's gone.
So fast. Days are long, but I guess months are short in basketball season.
That's a good way to put it. Malik Lagania leaves the first free throw way short. He's 50% on the year from the stripe, but the Bears today normally around 70% from the foul line as a team, only 2 for 8. So that's something to keep an eye on if this thing tightens up down the stretch. Lagania splits the pair.
Looking at the stat sheet, I mean, we've talked about it multiple times, but just the way 8 assists, 16 turnovers, shooting 40% from the field, Limestone's got to feel pretty decent about their chances here down the stretch in the last 11 minutes to get it back in this game.
That's actually Hickman that missed that shot. Lagania the rebound.
You can call them whatever you want as long as they're missing shots.
Lagania cuts and misses the dunk. Tyson found him. Just a missed opportunity there, and Laird also misses the 3. So either team can find the bottom of the net right now. But Naz Tyson did everything you can possibly do there. Johnson off the bounce. Foul on Hickman.
Yeah, great play design by the Bears on that last 2 possessions ago to get Malik right at the front of the rim. Just missed. Didn't have quite enough bounce.
Jalen, second trip to the line today is perfect. So Wilson will come in for Lagania. I would imagine that Everett Sullivan's not terribly thrilled with Malik Lagania after that missed dunk. Jalen Johnson a rare miss from the free throw line. Only his 5th miss of the year in 51 attempts.
You do not see those very often at all.
It's like Emily Harmon on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Layered off the screen. Now Udoka. Off the bounce, spins. Physical, counted and a foul. Steven Udoka taking matters into his own hands there. As Tim Steele gets called for the foul. And a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play for Udoka. TJ Naismith returns for the Bears. So Kangu, Johnson, Wilson, Naismith, and Tyson, the Bear 5. If there was a most trustworthy 5, I would say that this would be it for Everett Sullivan.
Definitely. This is probably his most used lineup over, I don't know, the last month and a half, as TJ started to assert his presence.
Hasn't had his best day today, only 4 shot attempts and 5 points. Wilson in the lane, offensive foul. Udoka making things happen on both ends, draws the charge after the and one. And Limestone is far from out of this thing.
Yep.
They're a couple of shots away from tying this thing right up.
Yeah, I thought that was a bad call, but
yeah,
they called it for Limestone, so the Bears got to move on to the next play.
Wilson was kind of angling away, didn't really go through Udoka there. I concur with you. And that's 7 fouls on the Bears, so the bonus the rest of the way for Limestone as Laird gets rejected. And here comes Jalen Johnson. Bounce pass to Naismith, but Hickman steals it.
Great look by Jalen.
And McLean volleyball spikes that pass away, but it doesn't matter as it ends up in the hands of Udoka for the lay-in. 4-point game. Limestone can feel the life on the bench. Got some energy for the first time in a while. Johnson guarded tightly by Owens and then fouled by Owens before the shot.
Oh.
No, they're counting it. And now they will not count it. That's the right call. So that's the second on Owens and the 4th on Limestone here in the second half. So LR ball under their offensive basket. Naismith doubled. Kangu spins, gives it off. McLean, a free throw line jumper, left it short, and Udoka one-arms the rebound.
Offensive.
Oh, they're going double foul. Nunez and Kangu were wrestling down there on the block. And a double foul called on Nunez and Kangu.
And no shots. Shouldn't be any free throws.
It should be Limestone basketball because they go back to the point of interruption and the Saints had the ball. So it is Limestone basketball. So are they going to the arrow or are they giving it a point of interruption?
Oh, it probably is.
Because the arrow favors Limestone, but no, it's point of interruption because they're keeping the arrow in favor of the Saints. Udoka a 3. Barely spins around and out. And a foul on Nunez on the rebound. He can't believe it, but that seems to be the right call as well. And the 6th foul on Limestone, so bonus both ways. 18 fouls on LR and 6 on the Saints. Jackson grabbed by the Bears. And a timeout called by Everett Sullivan with 13 on the shot clock, which will take us to the under 8 timeout. Things get intense here as we go down the stretch. Just a 4-point lead for the Bears over Limestone on the Bears Sports Network.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Moret Stadium is an iconic part of LR Athletics, hosting games, tailgating, marching band competitions, sports camps, and graduation ceremonies. The stadium serves as a valued focal point for the greater Hickory area. The time has come to renovate the stadium to allow LR to continue to offer our student athletes, fans, and the community an exceptional experience.
3-minute scoring drought has allowed Limestone to crawl back into this one. It was a 14-point game. It was 39-25 at about the 18-minute mark of this game. And since then, the Bears have only scored 4 points. Limestone, they haven't been super efficient themselves, only 39% from the floor, but they've done enough on the defensive end to keep themselves very much within striking distance here in the last 7:28 of this one.
Yeah, right now it feels like first to 50.
Yeah.
Win the game the way this game is shaping up.
4 to shoot for Johnson. Bears have to hurry. Naismith chucks it top of the circle. Way too strong. Kangu on the glass. That's a huge bucket for LR.
Huge bucket.
Six points for Kevin Kangu, but no basket in this game has been bigger than that one so far for the Bears. Gallert had a strong start and gets called for the offensive foul there. Gallert's the only player in this game that's in double figures with 11 points. But nothing has been easy for him today, especially with Dada out. Naismith sealed off his defender and muscled it up and in.
Good job by the Bears. They're executing what they want to do, looking for that switch, and Oz able to feed TJ for the easy layup.
Gallert spins out a three. That was halfway down.
Fortunate break for the Bears there.
3 minutes without a bucket now for Limestone. It's been a game of scoring droughts, which makes sense in a 47-39 ball game. Kangu, contested look. And Gallert runs down the rebound.
I think Gallert traveled there, but the rest are already on the way back down, so play continues.
Here he is at the other end. That was a wonky shot, but it goes in off the glass through the chest of P.J. Joseph. Idoka comes back to the table for Limestone. Johnson the lob. Naismith the finish. Perfect pick and roll there for the two leading scorers for LR.
Well, if my prediction is correct, it looks like LR is in good shape to win this game.
If indeed the first to 50 wins, yeah. Owens off the screen, gets ripped. Kangu ahead. Tyson. Back to a 10-point game. Timeout, Limestone. Kyle Perry upset and just got whacked. And now is going to have to be careful if he wants to stay in the gym today.
think it was one of those where he was really talking to the refs,
yes,
but he was trying to disguise it as talking to his team.
And now is saying I was talking to my team, but was definitely talking to the refs. So
yes,
a technical foul on the head coach for Limestone, Kyle Perry, who is understandably frustrated with how his team is playing. But a little burst for the Bears. They made now all of a sudden 4 out of their last 5 shots, but Bears turning defense into offense there in that last sequence.
Yeah. Probably not the best time to get a technical there.
No.
10-point game. You're kind of on the edge right now of it either turning into a possession game at the end or the Bears pushing this thing to 15 or so. And hopefully with these next 2 free throws, the Bears are able to push it to 12 and build on the lead from there.
Still no Bear into double figures. 9 different players have scored for the Bears. Kangu with 6, Wilson with 6, Tyson with 7, Fowler with 6, Jalen Johnson with 9, Lagana with 1, Steele with 5, McLean with 2, Naismith with 9. So you add it all up, it's 51 for the Bears. Gallert with 13 for Limestone. And Kyle Perry is still hot on the sideline as Jalen Johnson will take the technical free throws. Rolls in the first. But it felt like it was kind of a ticking time bomb for Kyle Perry, the way that he went off the floor to the locker room at halftime, the way that he came out of the locker room to start the second half. And it's Limestone basketball.
Coach Perry's still talking to the refs. Like you said, just a little frustrated with how his team's playing and the flow of this game. So
Nunez throws it to his head coach, and that can't make the head coach any happier.
Yeah, things starting to unravel a little bit for Limestone right here. Bears capitalize.
And Limestone, they got it down to 4. It was 43-39.
We're going to a little zone right here, trying to mess up the Bears' rhythm.
Johnson shoots over it and knocks it down. Huge shot for Jalen Johnson. In the blink of an eye, the lead is 15.
Yep.
Things teetering on the brink here for Limestone, but Owens rolls one in. The Saints had to have that one, and they get it. It's the third 3 of the game for Owens. It's normally a 36% three-point shooter, 3 for 8 today, so above his season average. Johnson's screen and roll. Naismith got his defender in the air. It looked like he got fouled and no call. TJ Naismith came down funny on his bad leg. Bears defending with 4 right now. Idoka +1. So that was not a good sequence for the Bears as Naismith came down funny on his left leg. He had that hamstring problem that held him out of both the Lincoln Memorial and Queens games. Still has that left leg wrapped up, but is trying to walk it off. And Idoka will have one free throw coming up after our final media timeout today. Bears lead by 10 in a must-win game. Down the stretch we go here in February on the Bears Sports Network.
Everything the light touches will be yours. You must remember who you are. The one true champion. We are LR.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are LR. We are LR.
certainly has been a game of runs over, well, the entirety of the game, but especially the last few minutes. The Bears were, Limestone cut the lead down to 4, then LR extended it all the way to 15, and now Limestone, with this free throw coming up from Steven Idoka, has a chance to get it back to single digits after the technical foul on Kyle Perry, the head coach for Limestone. So this, by all accounts, Blake, has been kind of a weird game today.
Just no real offensive flow.
Yes.
Like you said, there's been spurts where each team's been in a flow, but this never been where both teams been in a flow, it felt like. Going back to that technical, it's could be a 7-point game instead of a 9.
And it was just kind of a momentum shifter, too. The Bears got a couple buckets after it as well. Johnson crossover, runs into Gallert, and Nunez runs it down in the corner. Limestone not out of this thing yet. Top of the circle, Freeman spins out. Man, that would have been big if that went down for the Saints, but it doesn't. And now Jalen Johnson will walk the ball up the floor. Spins, kicks. Naismith is okay after he came up lame going into the timeout, but falls down and turns it over. Owens ahead of the pack. Timeout Limestone. This is now back to a 7-point game. 8-0 spurt for the Saints after they went down 15. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll stick right here.
Bears have been in this situation before on both sides of it, up with time dwindling and down, so it's not a new situation. They just got to execute on offense and defense, get the shot they want as best they can, and then close this game out with a win.
For you LR fans out there, today's a season opener for the LR baseball team, and they lead Emmanuel 4-0 down in Franklin Springs, Georgia. Bottom of the 8th inning. Really good start for Andrew Patrick in that game, who threw a no-hitter last year. Basketball trying to hang on here. They've been up. Limestone has never led in this game. Bears have led wire to wire so far, but still an eternity to go in this one. Owens almost takes it from Tyson and deflects it. And it'll stay with the Bears with 17. Kangu picks up his dribble and gets it over to Johnson. Jalen. Floater. Blocking foul and one.
Huge basket. Huge basket for the Bears there.
Idoka slid underneath Jalen Johnson, who all of a sudden now has 16 points. But you said it. That is a huge, maybe tide-turning bucket for the Bears, as Limestone was looking to mount a comeback here.
With the free throw here, which is pretty much a shoe-in, knock on wood.
Right.
Pushes this game to a 4-possession game as opposed to getting a stop in Limestone, getting a bucket and bringing it to a 2-possession game. So huge and one right there.
17 points, couple of threes, 4 assists for Jalen Johnson. Owens. Bad pass, and Tim Steele takes it. Here he comes to the rim. And used every part of the rim, but dropped it in. Hickman crosses over off his own foot, but it went right back to Freeman. And now Gallert. Owens steps into a three. Off left iron, ball tipped and stays with the Saints off of Nas Tyson.
Nas, I think, came down, twisted his ankle there.
He's battled injuries as well this season. Nas is just a no-nonsense, no-excuses type guy.
Mm-hmm. Just a good basketball player.
And doesn't say a whole lot, just lets his play do the talking. Block for Naismith, but Nunez gets it back on the second chance and cuts it back to 10 with 90 seconds to go. Full court pressure easily broken by the Bears. Johnson not satisfied yet, left it short, but Naismith right there to gather it up for him. Freeman letting the ball roll even while the clock was running. Gallert shot fake, double pumps and knocks it down. Timeout Limestone. Whenever they've desperately needed a bucket in this game, they've gotten it, but with 1:06 to go in a 9-point game, could be too little too late for the Saints.
Poor decision by Jalen there, trying to go for the steal. Giving Limestone the advantage. Gallert shot fake, was able to get that open three.
So at this point for Limestone, if it's not a steal, it's probably got to be a foul with
you just
a 9-point deficit.
Extend the game.
"21 turnovers today for the Saints and 29 points for the Bears. Almost half of their points in this game have come off of Limestone turnovers. 21 bench points for the Bears. Most of those belong to Naismith.
A three-game winning streak, most likely.
Barring
something pretty...
a flurry here from the Saints.
Yeah. But if things go as planned, it'll be a good Saturday night for the LR men's basketball program.
Bears have 15 steals in this game as well. That is their second largest total this season. Limestone has forced LR into 13 turnovers today, which is 3 above their season average of 10, but they need a few more right here to have a chance. Johnson trapped, but he gets it ahead to Tyson. And an uncontested dunk for TJ Naismith. Thought Steele was going to take it, but he gives it off to TJ. And he puts the exclamation point on this one as Freeman gets fouled. A couple of one-handed jams today for TJ. Jalen Johnson looked like he had trapped himself in the corner, but got off a good pass to Nas Tyson, who started the break for the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Freeman misses the free throw. 84% foul shooter normally is Chase Freeman, graduate student from Gallatin, Tennessee. But after scoring 80 points in 5 straight games, Limestone's going to be lucky to get to 60 today. Is on the third chance there. Gallert gets fouled as Naismith was laying on the ground. So more free throws coming for the Saints. Fouls on Steele, his second. So that's 10 team fouls for the Bears now. Been a good day for Gallert. Averages 15.3 points per game and has 17 today, but Limestone desperately misses Iodata. 16.3 points per game. Great three-point shooter. Kangu grabs the rebound. They're trying to foul, and now they finally give the foul on Freeman.
Bears got a pretty good free throw shooting lineup in there. But definitely Kevin is, after Jalen, probably the guy you want at the line.
Can tell TJ Naismith's leg is bothering him. You see him walking on the right side of your screen there. Just exited the frame.
Yeah,
just kind of gimpy, but Everett Sullivan just says, "Are you okay?" And TJ says, "I'm okay."
Yeah, I think he cramped up a little bit earlier in the game when he saw him come up a little gimpy. And
Sal Wilson will come in for him, but you see him running there.
Yeah.
It just looks like he's got a bit of a hitch in his giddy-up.
He sure did.
Week between games for the Bears, which is kind of unheard of at this time of year.
Yep. Yeah, had a little bye game on Wednesday, so like you said, week off.
Owens, perfect with that 3. Cuts it down to 9. Now they'll have to foul, and they do. Nas Tyson will shoot. That's team foul number 10 on Limestone, so double bonus now for the Bears. All in all, we've said this season a few different times that Bears just have to have one of these home games. Said it about the Coker game, they didn't get it. Said it about the Newberry game, they didn't get it. But I think today, this was the mother of all had-to-have-it games. And the Bears, as Freeman almost turns it over, Idoka lays it in. 27.4 on the clock. Another foul, but the win streak is going to continue for LR. 3 in a row, including 2 on the road. Got another home game coming up. A rivalry action Wednesday night in the Shoe as Catawba comes to town. You got to think that the Bears are going to be out for some revenge after the way that last loss at Catawba went down in December.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
2 points in overtime.
Yeah, they definitely know they can play with them and beat them. So it'll be another. I mean, every game at this point is big based on where the Bears are at in the standings. So, and rivalry game, Catawba's been playing better.
Owens another 3. He's got another one. Too little, too late for Owens at this point. Limestone needed those to go down about 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
But all of a sudden, Owens is up to 17 points and 5 3-pointers in this game. Jalen Johnson will go back to the line. He's 5 for 6 from the stripe today. The Bears have made their free throws down the stretch and have prevented this game from getting too close for comfort here in the last couple minutes. Owens, he's got the hot hand between 2 defenders. That's not a good look, but
just no foul.
And I think Limestone has finally conceded defeat today. Bears had to have it. They got it. They've won their 3rd straight and catapulted themselves right back into the conference tournament conversation here in early February. Good road win, good home win today for LR. Wire to wire, they never trailed in this game.
Nope. Like you said, great win for the Bears. Wire to wire, that always feels good, and 3-game winning streak feels great too. So, looking forward to this Catawba game on Wednesday. Should be a good one.
Should take a look at our final stats presented by East Coast Wings and Grill. The scorebot's kind of blocking our view here. But there we go. An 8-point win for the Bears. Basically identical shooting numbers for both teams, but the Bears more opportunistic on defense. They forced 21 turnovers for Limestone and scored 29 points off of those turnovers. So that, to me, is the difference in the game.
And that's it. And the Bears come away with a 7-point victory. Probably actually a little bigger lead than that, but Limestone was able to hit some shots down to make it a little closer than it was. So it's definitely a good win for the Bears. And like we've mentioned a couple times, 3 wins in a row is never easy to do at any point during the season, but especially in this January, February stretch of games, and setting themselves up to keep climbing the standings, obviously, with this win. So it'll be a big and probably a really good game on Wednesday versus Catawba.
Yeah, should be a good environment in here. Always a fun time when Catawba comes to town. Two of the oldest rivals in the SAC right here on Wednesday night. Blake and I will be here for it. We hope you are too. Bears playing their best ball of the season right now as we head down the stretch in February. They win their third straight game today over Limestone, 73-65. The final for Blake Simmons and the rest of our fantastic Bears Sports Network crew. Eric Bach saying so long for now from the shoe. We'll talk to you on Wednesday night on the Bears Sports Network.